Hari Om. Chapter 28. The Ideal Wife. Devahuti, the wife of Kardama, served him even as Parvati served Mahadeva when he was performing penance. Days passed, months passed, and years too. Still, she was the same cheerful, happy woman whose only pleasure seemed to be serving her husband. One day, Kardama looked at her. She had grown thin because of the austerities she had been observing. Her face had lost the glow it had when she first came to him. Her blue eyes were still beautiful, but they had lost their luster because of sleepless nights. Her jewels she had discarded long ago, and her dress was simple and coarse. Her silks she had given away so many years back. Kardama called her to his side and said, "My beloved wife, I am pleased with you and your devotion to me. Though you are a princess by birth, used to luxury and comfort, you have never once looked unhappy at the poverty and the difficulty you have been made to undergo all these years. Because of the vratas you have been observing constantly, and again because of your constant serving me, while I have been in meditation, you have also obtained the grace of the Lord. I will give you the power to see with the inner eye. You can see the glory of Narayana. Listen to me, dear woman. With the lift of his eyebrows, the Lord is able to destroy all the many desires in the mind of man. When he has looked on us with love, where is the need for worldly pleasures? We are heirs to heavenly enjoyments. Why then should we think of the pleasures of the senses? You and I have risen above them. Devahuti's eyes were downcast when she spoke to her husband. She said, "I know. All that you have told me is true. I know the power of your yoga and about the grace of Narayana, which is always yours. But, my lord, I am just a woman. The wish to be a mother is the natural instinct of a woman. You would have known this desire lodged in my mind already, and yet you want me to express it." She stood before him with her face suffused with a blush. Kardama smiled softly at her and said, "So be it." With his yogic power, Kardama created a Vimana, a floating palace with lovely gardens and lakes and flowers, and jeweled pillars and seats covered with silk and brocade. It stood at the doorway of the ashrama. Devahuti stood looking at it. Kardama saw her eyes filled with longing and said, "My dear wife, enter the Bindusaras. After bathing in it, you will go with me in the Vimana wherever you wish." And added, "This Saras has been formed because of the kindness of Lord Narayana, and it will grant the desire of everyone." Devahuti, whose eyes were blue, whose raiments were soiled, and whose hair was all unkempt because of neglect, whose body was thin, emaciated because of her vratas, entered the Bindusaras because her husband asked her to. Even as she was looking, an amazing thing happened. Hundreds of young and beautiful maidens were there to welcome her. They bathed her with oil and perfumed water and dressed her in costly silks. They decked her with jewels, and when she came out of the saris, she could not recognize herself. All her charm and her maiden beauty had come back to her, and she thought shyly of Kardama. He was quicker than thought and came and stood by her side. She looked at him, and he had also become so different. He looked like he used to when they were married. He was as handsome as a Gandharva. With a smile, he took her hand and placed her in the Vimana. It rose up in the air and was soon travelling with the speed of Vayu. The young couple spent several years in the Vimana. They lost count of time, and they spent all their nights and days in happiness, oblivious to the world. 100 years had passed and they knew it not. Devoti became the mother of 9 daughters, and Kardama realized that it was time to go back to earth. The dream was over, and Devoti came back to reality. She knew that her husband would leave her and go away to perform tapas. He had spoken about it long ago when they were to be married. She went to his presence and spoke to him in soft and gentle tones. She said, "My lord, you had told my father long ago that you would abandon the Grihasthashram as soon as I become the mother of children. I know now the time has come when you will leave me. But, my lord, how can I bear this separation? I am an ignorant woman. Please teach me how to be rid of the fear of samsara. I am frightened. I will have to live all by myself. The children, when they grow up, will find suitable husbands for themselves. I will get no solace from them. Please stay back for a while. Who knows, I may get a son who will help me, who may teach me how to be rid of this bondage called worldliness." When I was with you all these days before the children were born, my desire for you was earthly. Attachment of a worldly person to one who's also worldly like her leads to bondage. But when the same attachment is to one who is beyond the ties of worldliness, they say, leads to salvation, you are detached. Will my love for you then lead me to salvation? Consider me. I've been your wife. I am the wife of one who is the greatest of tapasvis, and yet this heart of mine is still grieving over worldly things which I am to lose. I am indeed the most unfortunate of women, since I've been deceived by Maya of the Lord. Kardama wiped the tears in her eyes and said, do not think of yourself so badly. You are not unfortunate. On the contrary, you are the most fortunate among all women. Lord Narayana has told me that he will be born as your son. You are going to bear the Lord himself in the womb. Can any woman be more fortunate than you? Do not weep, my dear woman. From today, you must observe the severest of vratas to prepare yourself, to make yourself worthy to receive the Lord. Pray to him day and night. Pleased with your devotion, he will be born as your son. He will glorify your name and mine in the days to come. He will teach you Brahma Vidya, which will break asunder all the knots which have been tying you down to this world. He will help you to find a way out of this wilderness called Maya. Through you, the world of men will learn the lesson.